Are you new at mosaic making and have wondered, are there rules for tiling? Things like, how far apart should you space your pieces? And is it the same spacing for all tesserae? Or does it vary from material to material? In today's video, we'll discuss all of this and come up with solutions to help you with your tesserae placement. Let's get to it. Welcome back, and if you're new here, my name is Julie, and on this channel we talk about tips, tricks, tools, adhesives, materials, and specific mosaic projects, all to shorten your learning curve when it comes to creating mosaic art. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, please consider subscribing. So why does consistent tile spacing really matter? Well, it's subjective. No, I'm not saying you have to have this perfectly tiled mosaic where everything is within 1/16 of an inch and it's just so perfectly made. But believe it or not, your tile spacing is as important as your overall mosaic design. Whoa, I know. It plays a huge role, so you want to put some thought into it. And this becomes even more important if you'll be grouting your mosaic. And I know, especially as a beginner, tile spacing can be top of mind. You're spending so much time on your mosaic that you want to get it right. You're learning so many new things at once, which, I can admit, it can be a bit overwhelming. But whether you'll be grouting or not, you want to think about the tesserae placement and how it will contribute to the overall design of your mosaic. It's that important. So in today's video, I'll discuss spacing when it comes to different types of materials, and we'll also go over some ways that'll help you achieve consistent spacing while you're tiling. We've got a lot to cover, so let's get started. Before we talk about tile spacing for specific mosaic materials, we first briefly need to talk about grout. If your mosaic will be grouted, you'll want to read up on the grout requirements set forth by the manufacturer. So whether you'll be using sanded or unsanded grout, you'll want to read the label on your bag or box of grout to see what the manufacturer recommends for a range of space between the tesserae. And this range of space is called the grout line. Ideally, the smaller your grout line, the better. However, sometimes a larger grout line can add a lot of character and a distinct design element to your overall mosaic. So you'll definitely want to read the grout label and find out what range you'll need to work within. My particular grout says it's best to have a grout line of 1/8 inch wide to 1/2 inch wide, which is a nice, wide, meaty range, if you will. So I'll need to decide on a measurement within that range. Okay, now that we've briefly discussed grout and the grout line, now we can talk about specific materials and their requirements for a grout line. And as I said a few minutes ago, tile spacing is a bit subjective. For instance, typically mosaics that include smalty aren't grouted. So the tesserae are tiled or adhered to the substrate so closely together that there's little to no space in between each piece. You might be able to see the cement-based adhesive that they're set in and think that it's grout, but it's not. However, again, there are no rules and you could very well grout a smalty mosaic. And if that's the case, you'll want to tile your pieces in a consistent way so the grout has somewhere to go. If you tile your mosaic where the tesserae pieces are literally touching each other, yet you're planning to grout the piece, you've left nowhere for the grout to go. There's no space for a grout line. Materials such as stained glass, vitreous glass, glass tile, ceramic, and porcelain are traditionally mosaics that are grouted. However, not always. I did a mixed media piece here on the channel where I didn't grout the mosaic, but I made sure the tessera spacing was as consistent as possible. This adds to the overall appearance or aesthetic to the mosaic. But you want to be consistent or intentional in where you adhere your tesserae, as this gives the eye something to follow in your mosaic. You're creating the flow or aesthetic harmony with how you place your tesserae in your mosaic. Okay, moving on, let's talk about tile spacing and how you can achieve consistent tile spacing in your mosaic. Now keep in mind, I'm going to show you some methods, but over time, as you continue doing mosaic, this stuff is just going to come naturally to you and you'll be able to eye it instead of having to do any of these sorts of methods. But I do understand some just starting out in mosaic need some sort of guide. And so I'm going to show you a few methods that let's think of them as temporary for you, because you're going to get this and you're not going to need anything in the future. And again, keep your grout range in mind when you're trying to decide which method you're going to use for consistent tile spacing. The first method involves using lines or a grid, and you can do this by drawing directly onto your substrate, or you can use the method I'm about to show you. Now, a grid works best if you're just starting in mosaic making and you need a guide, if you will, on the substrate to keep the tiling going without having to start and stop throughout your mosaic making. And I'll show you what I mean in a minute. You can use copy paper or graph paper like what I'll be using here. This eliminates the possibility of the drawing or lines of your design showing through your tesserae had you directly drawn onto the substrate and used transparent materials, for example. There is initial prep work involved with this method before you can start tiling, because you need to decide on how big your grout line will be, and you need to include that grout line in your grid you're drawing on the substrate or on your graph paper. If you'll be working on a transparent substrate like this clear glass vase, you can draw a grid on a sheet of paper and tape it to the back side of the vase. But once you're done drawing the grid, you can just focus on tiling from that point on. So you won't have to start and stop and start and stop like the next two methods I'll be sharing. This method works well whether you're working with tesserae that are all the same size, let's say square or round, or if you'll be using random shapes. It's just a method that will keep your tiling in check. And then once you're done tiling and your tesserae or adhesive have dried, you can remove the grid paper on the back side and continue with your process of grouting. A second method would be to use a coin, wood craft stick, or some other thin item between the tesserae. Again, make sure you're familiar with the grout guidelines on your package of grout and then decide what width you'd like your grout line to be. So as you adhere tesserae to your substrate, you'll want to slide the coin or craft stick between two pieces to make sure the spacing is consistent. Make sure you're checking the spacing both vertically and horizontally on your substrate. This method allows you to easily adjust the tesserae, whether that means pulling pieces closer together or spreading them further apart. And you'll want to do this as you tile, since sometimes adhesives have a short drying time. But also, what you've tiled in one area of your mosaic can affect the entire spacing for the rest of the mosaic. It's a snowball effect, in other words. So establish your own rules from the beginning and then hold yourself to them. As you can see, the shape of the 3/4 inch vitreous tile that I'm using here aren't exactly consistent in size. Overall, in general, they are 3/4 inches square. They're not perfect though, but I'm not going to sweat it. I'm placing the tesserae in as close to a consistent tiling and spacing pattern as I can. If the occasional inconsistent size of materials such as vitreous tile bothers you, if you will, you can always grind down the sides of the tile either with a grinding stone or glass grinder. I've done a video here on the channel all about how to grind or sand down the edges of your mosaic tesserae, and I'll include a link down below in the description so you can check it out. If your mosaic doesn't include rows of tesserae, but more so a random tile pattern, then a smaller item like a coin would work perfectly. As you tile, you'll want to slide the coin in between pieces of tesserae to check your spacing both vertically and horizontally, and adjust the pieces if necessary. But if your mosaic design involves rows of tesserae, I especially like the wood craft stick idea because it's longer and can keep things in check. If you want a thicker grout line, you can always tape or glue a few of the wood craft sticks together and use them the same way. A third method would be to use a ruler. You'll want to decide or establish a grout line width that you like aesthetically, but that also fits within the space or size range of the grout you'll be using. Measure it, and then with each new tessera you adhere to the substrate, measure again with your ruler. Then adhere more tessera and measure. Keep going with this method as you move throughout your project. Now, this method works great if you're using tesserae which are all about the same size. But what if you're using tessera of different sizes? Then try to go for an average measurement or space between the tesserae. Remember, tesserae don't have to be all the same size in order for your mosaic to still look uniform and cohesive. You might have bigger grout line gaps in certain areas. This mosaic here features tesserae cut in random shapes. But because the grout line is pretty uniform in size, the mosaic overall looks cohesive. Not having things tiled so perfectly gives your mosaic personality, but also shows it's not machine made. It's handmade, and an artist, a human, took the time to tile every piece in that mosaic. Be proud of that. I'll include a list down below in the description for everything that I used and referenced in today's video in case you'd like to do a little research of your own. Question of the day, let me know down in the comments if you've used any of these methods that we went over today, or do you have another method that you used that was super helpful and you wouldn't mind sharing with our community? Let me know down in the comments, I'd love to hear. Thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up as it really does help my channel, and subscribe if you haven't already. Click the bell notification so you never miss a single upload, and let me know in the comments if there's something you'd like me to cover in a future video. I'll see you soon. Bye. Okay, let's see if we can get this filmed before the video game session gets any louder or the thunderstorm really gets going. So let's get to it. Let's get to it. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Do it all over again. Bam, what? Hi, how are you? Okay, seriously, I gotta go. I gotta go. I gotta go get this edited so I can get it up for you. Ooh, we got a thunderstorm moving in. Quick, 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 quick. Because you were wrong. Okay, let's get going. No, this is such a run-on sentence. Run on. Run on. No, Julie. It doesn't matter. Come on, Thunder, please, just give me 10 minutes. And then you can boom, boom, boom all you want. Can you hear that? Yeah. I know. It was my fault. I should have checked the weather forecast. I know. Quick like a bunny. And I'll include a link to the, no. You can check that video out. Nope. As I would say, that one was a keeper. If you're looking for more Mosaic inspiration, you can check out one of these two videos. Until then, see ya. You. Thank you for being here. I'll see you soon. Bye.